Boris Johnson is saying, I now believe COVID was caused by a lab leak. The Chinese owe us proper answers and our government should start demanding them. Blah. Boris Johnson believes in the conspiracy theory that COVID came from a lab leak. Well, they've admitted that now. What are they going to admit next? That wrestling is fake? A lot of people were saying that COVID came from a lab leak. The Chinese need answers. What about you, Boris Johnson? Don't you need to give us answers for the way that you dealt with the pandemic? It's 5 years now since he made that announcement and said, you must stay at home. And he locked us down. This had never been done before. This was not part of the pandemic preparedness document that already existed, the protocols that we already had in place if something like this happened. This was something new, and it happened in lockstep across the board in many countries, with a few notable exceptions. Sweden didn't do a lockdown. And I remember watching George Galloway's programme at the time, and they were crunching the numbers and saying, oh, well, is Sweden doing better than other countries? Is it doing better than countries surrounding Sweden, comparable countries? It would seem, now looking back on it, that Sweden made the right decision not to lock down. The lockdown had a devastating economic and social impact on the country. I guess we weren't to know that at the time. And when this was all new, I was very much on board with the idea of locking down. It seemed to, it made sense to me. Looking back on it, having seen the damage that it did, I regret that. I regret my initial reaction. And what about the hypocrites who had all the numbers at the touch of a button? They were not locking down, were they? They were having parties in number 10. They were not social distancing or staying away from their family. They didn't give a damn. And they had all the statistics, all the facts. They knew that locking down was not going to have any benefit. But they made us do it. Why did Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock and the Tory scum that were in power in this country at the time force us to do that when they were not doing it? Why? That's the answer that I want, not from the Chinese and the lab leak. Although we know now that this gain of function research that's still going on. Quite a lot of labs in Ukraine do gain of function research, funny enough. But 5 years on, with the 2020 vision of hindsight, what are your thoughts on being locked down and the prospect of maybe happening again? Devastating effect on education, devastating effect on mental health, on attention span. The education system has not recovered from those lockdowns. And the average age of the people that passed away with the illness was 82, and we sacrificed the children because of that. It's very sad if you die when you're 82, or if you're 92 or 102. But did it really warrant the mayhem, the destruction that it did to people's lives?